Ryan Jarrell here for Fight Bananas, and my next guest will be back in action November the 16th at UFC 309 when he takes on Jim Miller. And of course, it is the Leech himself, Damon Jackson, on the show. Damon, how are you?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
Good, man. Nice to talk to you. And I love the background with the American flag up there.
Yeah, I
You know, the
made
show.
that stick. It's like a four. I think it's 3.5 feet by 5 feet, or maybe it's 4 by 6. I can't remember.
So, do you do some woodwork? Is that something that you do as like a
Yeah,
hobby?
I love it. Yeah, I love it. I haven't had my garage and um, I haven't had my garage set up in about a year, so I'm ready to get back. I'm ready to get back in my garage and get back to work.
Very cool, man. Well, it looks like the gym that you have there, Fortis MMA, you were saying it's inside of a 24-hour fitness. It looks pretty sweet, man. Tell me
Yeah.
how that's all been going and how it's been growing.
It's been awesome, man. Because I opened it up a little over a year ago, and it's just been cool. Like growing with the fighters here, like to see them go from like not knowing anything to like some of them are like almost at that pro debut level. So it's pretty cool to watch it, happen in it. Like my favorite thing is the kids program. I love watching the kids do something I just taught them in class, and even having my daughters up here, it's so awesome. It's really cool experience for sure.
How has the growth been as far as more people like joining and coming in to different classes and whatnot? Has that been steadily growing?
Yeah, but it's been since day one. Just it's been great since day one. It's just been kind of going up, and after big fights, it's always like it goes up a little bit more, and it's just it's cool to watch it grow because you learn a lot from it when it goes down and things go up. It's like you can kind of pick and choose the seasons and see when people are going to be motivated to come in. So usually at the end of the year, there's a little bit of a slump, and then beginning of the year, every year it picks up. So it's funny to watch.
Very cool. Well, good for you, man. Speaking of big fights, you have a pretty big one right around the corner. You're going to be fighting at Madison Square Garden in NYC. Have you ever fought there before? I was trying to look at your previous fights and where you've been. And I mean, you've been around for a long time now, so I could be kind of going through that for quite some time. So just tell me, is this your first time going to NYC and fighting at MSG?
No, I fought in New Jersey, and I fought actually in New Jersey twice. So I stayed in New York, fought in New Jersey. Pretty cool. All of it was so cool. Just Newark was a little sketchy, but other than that, it was a pretty cool experience. At nighttime it got crazy, but during the day it was pretty chill. It wasn't too bad. So it was fun though, for sure.
Well, they say, Madison Square Garden is like the Mecca. So, I mean, what does it mean to you at this stage of your career to fight there? I mean, that's pretty special.
Yeah, and I mean, fighting like Jim Miller is a legend. Way I look at it, he's been around forever. He's fought like so many fights, and then to fight him at Madison Square Garden too is like it's pretty cool.
So Jim Miller, obviously, legend, been around for a really long time. What were your first thoughts when you heard the name?
I said yes within like 10 seconds of me figuring out that he was the option. So I figured me moving up a weight class, I would get some like no name top 50, like no one has heard about, probably tough as hell from Brazil or some, some tough matchup like that. And so whenever I think it was just kind of payback for me taking the last two fights with guys missing weight. I think that they're just kind of like they're kind of getting tired of that. So I think it's just it was a great option. Jim's tough as hell, but he comes with a lot of notoriety. So like me moving up a weight class and getting to fight someone like him in my first fights, it's really cool to me, and I appreciate it a lot.
He is 41 years old. I think it's fair to say that he's not the fighter he was, 5, 6 years ago, right? Like, where do you feel like he's slowed down? Like, are there areas that you feel like he's declined in certain ways?
Man, it's hard to even say that about him because you say that like you say like that he's declined or he's done something like that, but this dude's tough to tell. He can put people out still at his 41. I'm 36, so it's not like um, you know, like I feel like I haven't had a decline physically. Mentally, I've even gotten 10 times better because mentally I'm able to just push through so many things more than what I'd ever imagined. Even back in like wrestling in college, that was the toughest times I ever had. And then I feel now like I would destroy myself back in college. Like I would destroy that. So to see Jim at 41 still competing. I mean, he competes like 3 times a year, 4 times a year. He's been doing that for so many years. So I'm not looking past that. You know, I'm not thinking anything about him having a decline or him having any kind of slump because I don't see it. I think that people can, you know, you watch somebody so many times, you start thinking that they're not as good, or you start thinking they're really good. Like that's why when you watch film, you got to be careful because you can really play mind games with yourself. You can think like, oh, this guy is not better than me, or this guy is so much better than me. So like when I look at Jim, he's just been around forever, and he's been very consistent with his performances. So if he had 4 or 5, like if he had 7 losses in a row, then I would say, all right, you're done, like somebody else, you know. But you know, like Tony Ferguson and Jim Miller, it's night and day different. So Jim Miller is like win, lose, win, lose, win, win, lose, lose, win. You know, it's like, you know, you can argue with that all day and say like it's the toughest guys in the world. So his age, I think that I mean, it definitely it plays a factor, but I think with him, he's, you know, he's been consistent for so long. I think you know, you got to give him you got to appreciate him for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a great fight, especially welcoming you to the 155 division. Where do you feel like this fight's going to take place, Damon? Do you think this fight will be on the feed, or is it going to be kind of a mix of things where you guys are going to hit the ground and test the grappling?
I 100% think that. I'm training for 15 minutes of grappling, and the striking part's easy. If it becomes a 15-minute kickboxing fight, then that'll be easy as hell. And if it's a 15-minute wrestling against Jim, it's going to be tough as hell. So I'm preparing for the tough side of wrestling and grappling, and I'm ready. I'm ready there. So you know, if the fight goes to the ground, I'll be ready. If it stays on the feet, I'll definitely be ready.
And your striking definitely, I feel like, has evolved over the years. But I guess you're known as a grappler, right? Do you feel like if this does hit the ground, that you're going to be getting the better of him in the grappling exchanges?
I like my grappling over really anyone. I don't, you know, me grappling. I just feel like people kind of have like a sour taste in their mouth with my grappling because my last couple of performances, I've had such a weird weight cut and rehydration that my performances have been trash. So, you know, I'm just excited to get back out there and to be healthy, and to, you know, grapple if I have to. But you know, if it stays on the feet, I'm happy there too. But I definitely enjoy the grappling and the submission over, you know, striking for sure.
So talking about the weight cut, this is the first time that I've interviewed you since you've made the decision to go up to 155. Can you kind of talk to me a little bit about, you know, how you came to that realization that, okay, featherweight is behind me. I want to go test my luck at lightweight now.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm in a calorie deficit 3 to 4 days a week when I was at featherweight, just to keep my weight low enough to make weight. You know, like the week that I decided to go up to 55 and I started eating like how I should be eating, you know, I'm weighing about 178 right now. So, you know, like that's just normal walk around. It's like 73 to 75. And so now that I've put muscle on, I've been lifting and I've been eating, like I'm eating 3 to 4 thousand calories a day. And so after doing all that, you know, I just feel so much healthier, and I'm getting to train more. I literally feel like I'm back in college. I'm lifting heavy, heavy, heavy weight. I'm doing sprint work. I'm able to go from like striking practice, like boxing or something like that, and then able like 2 hours later to go straight to jujitsu, and then have a couple hour break, and then I teach kids class, I teach kickboxing, I teach jiu-jitsu, and then I do my practice at 8 o'clock at my gym. So I'm doing 3 days, 4 days a week, and which is crazy. Normally, this close to my fight time, I'm already cutting calories. I'm already like prepping for the weight cut. You know, I'm trying to get my weight where I'm like down to like 68 instead of 73, and you know, it's just a brutal lifestyle, and it's hard to maintain that. And you know, my last few performances have shown that that weight cut is just too much. You know,
It sounds like life is just significantly better for you now. Do you wish you would have
it
made this decision a
really is.
while ago?
Honestly, I do, and I do, and then I was really happy with how everything went. Like I mean, I always made weight, so if I ever missed weight, maybe I would have second guessed it quicker. But you know, it just I don't think you can. I can't really explain it, and it makes sense to you because it makes sense to me in my head how well prepared I was for that last fight. I mean, it was. I went above and beyond with my preparation. Like I was freaking ready. I didn't care if it was Chepe or if it was like freaking Dan Ige or whoever was going to step in last minute. I didn't give a shit. That's why I took the fight even when he missed weight, because I was so prepared. I had such a good weight cut. I had like an awesome rehydration. I felt great the day of. I felt great warming up. I felt good, and then it was literally like I hit my warm up maybe 10 minutes in, and I'm like I'm feeling it. I felt so good. And then all of a sudden my body just boom crashed, and I was like I'm done with this. Like, I literally almost die every time I make weight. Even I had a good weight cut at that time, but it was like I mean it literally the last 2 or 3 pounds you feel like you're dying.
Hmm.
It's just
I
too
don't
much.
know. I don't ever
Well,
want to know what you guys have to go through to make the weights that you do. It's
it's
nuts.
you know it's crazy, man. Like so, like I wasn't allowed to say anything, but my last fight, not Chepe with Hernandez. Okay, so I'm in there killing myself trying to make weight. I freaking passed out, bust my eye open. I busted my eye open the night before the fight, and the UFC wasn't gonna let me fight. And I was like, I told them I was like, because they're trying to make me rehydrate. They're trying to give me stuff right away. I passed out in front of the PI team because it was the Thursday night before weigh-ins, and I passed out right before in front of them. And they're like checking on me, and all my vitals were good. Everything was like okay. And they're like, "You're not fighting." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fighting. I don't care what you say. Like, I'm fighting for sure. Like, I'm gonna make weight, and so no matter what, I'm gonna step on the scale tomorrow. I'm gonna make weight." And I just rushed my weight cut. I put a sauna suit on. I had sweats on. I kind of got too hot, and I passed out. But here I am killing myself to make weight, and then I freaking pass out, cut my eye open, still make weight, and then this dude. I get a text from his manager at like freaking 4 o'clock in the morning saying, "Oh, he weighs 151." I'm like, I'm already at weight. So, whatever is going on, I'm making weight and I'm not doing a catch weight. And then he missed his weight and he only lost like a half a pound after that. So, that after dealing with that back to back, I was just like, man, I've got to go up. I can't do this to myself anymore. It's too much.
Was it known publicly about you passing out before the Hernandez fight? Is that something that people
No,
know?
I know. No, but now it's too far past, so I don't really care. But yeah, that happened, man. It was like I was just sitting there. My buddies were right in front of me, and the other ones on the side of me. And I look at him, and I'm like, "Oh, this ain't good." So I went to go start taking my stuff off, and I'm like, I sit on my hand, and I'm already on my butt, and I put my hand like this, and then all of a sudden my hand slips out because of the sweat. My hand slipped on the tile, and my face hit the floor, and it split my eye open. And yeah, it was it's crazy.
Did your team not want you to fight?
Yeah, they asked me, and I said, "Ain't fucking happening." Like I was too prepared for that fight, and same with the Chepe fight. I was so ready for that fight, and it's just frustrating to have those performances that I just look like crap. But I don't know what happened, man. My body just tanked. I was so ready, man. It's crazy.
I have to imagine with the UFC knowing what happened there, that they must appreciate you as an employee even more, knowing the lengths that you go to make weight as a professional.
Yeah, I got a text from Shelby and and the team right after I made weight and stuff, and I think that just like I don't do it for them. I do it for myself because I signed the contract. I'm the one, saying that I'm going to be there that day. I'm going to be there at this weight class. I'm going to be there to fight this guy. And so like I feel like it's just like you got to be a word like you got to be a man by your word like that. And signing the contract, I feel like it's like the only way you can really put that out there publicly that you're going to do it. And then when you don't do it, it makes you look a little less. So I don't like that.
Well, kudos to you, man. I think that's why you're starting to even get more fans. People want to see you fight because of the way that you bring it in there. Each fight you go in there, you give it your all. There's no doubt about the Chepe fight. Obviously, we know what happened. You're talking about it with the weight miss on his end, but like looking back on it now, outside of just what you went through to make the weight and how it affected your ability, how much do you think him not making weight gave him a benefit in that fight? Do you feel like it kind of put him over the top to beat you?
Man, I'm telling you, like I came in like obviously if you haven't cut the weight, you don't really know. But that the last like so you go from so I was 22 pounds over fight week, and you go down to that last 5 pounds. That last 5 pounds, you could be in the sauna if you don't get your heart rate up before you get in there. You could be in the sauna for 15, 20 minutes at like 190 and not be sweating. And that's like not over exaggerating at all. Like your body is like it's got nothing left. So when you are the fighter that misses weight by 3 to 5 pounds, that's like night and day difference on your recovery time. Like that gives you like a whole extra day, a day and a half to recover. It's like it's insane. Like it really is cheating. And what I think should happen is that there should be a purse deduction for sure, but there should also be a point deduction from the scoring because I think that people miss weight and financially, yeah, it's a hit, but they you only get a percentage of their contracted amount. You don't if they win the fight, you don't get the win bonus. You don't get part of the 50,000. Like, well, I mean, I guess you would get that because they don't get it, but um, it's frustrating, man. Like there's got to be something done because people are doing that as an like that guy knew I would take the fight because Alex missed weight right before that, and I still took the fight, and so he knew that I would take the fight, and I think it was a strategic thing they did. So, I don't really know a whole lot about the guy, but
Mhm.
yeah, it's frustrating.
Did you interact with Chepe at all after the fight?
No, it got pretty crazy during the fight. With my coach and him and his coaches, and afterwards they really do good. Like UFC does such a good job of like making sure that you're not like where you're not supposed to be and stuff. And after the fights were over, I was chilling with my friends. So it wasn't like it wasn't that bad.
Okay. Well, obviously looking to get back in the win column here with a big name in Jim Miller. I want to transition back to him in a minute, but first, I wanted to get some fight picks from you here. Obviously, this is a massive pay-per-view. Some guy named John Jones is headlining it, taking on the former champ Stipe, who a lot of people feel like is the greatest heavyweight of all time. What's
Yeah.
your take on that fight? Do you feel like Stipe is just a little too old at this point to beat John Jones, or do you think he can give him a good run?
I mean, I think they're both kind of older guys, so it's not like I think it's going to be a great fight for sure. But I think John's John. He's a goat for sure. And him. It's like if you were to look at like if John Jones was at featherweight, he would be a really really good featherweight, but he might not be the best featherweight because you got to look at the different techniques at each weight class. As you go up, the technique kind of goes out the window a little bit, and it becomes more about not getting caught and stuff like that. So when you go up to heavyweight and you have a technique of him, an 85 or a 205 or like, it's like you have a technique of that guy fighting a heavyweight, being faster, being like more agile, being more thought out with your techniques and, you processing things a lot faster. I think that John Jones wins that fight all day. He beats every heavyweight. He would have beat Francis for sure. Like he's just different.
And so I don't know that this fight's ever going to happen, but what about Pereira? Do you think Jones would beat Pereira?
Smoking. First round. Child's
Really?
play. Yeah.
You think he'd
No
just take
one
him down?
wrestler. John Jones is, equally as big. I don't know the height, but they're pretty close to the same height. And um, John Jones, his wrestling would in jiu-jitsu would destroy him. And no one has done anything like that against him. Like no one's even half-assed like pressured him the whole time with wrestling. I think that the UFC is smart by keeping that Russian dude away from him. I think that dude's gonna destroy him on the ground. So I think John Jones would smoke him first round, 30, 40 seconds.
Okay. And Aspinall, you don't think Aspinall could beat Jones?
Oh yeah. 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 I just don't like Aspinall. I just get tired of hearing him talk. So I hope John Jones fights, Stipe wins, and then leaves. And then that whole storyline's over.
But so you're saying you think Aspinall would beat Jones if they fought?
Aspinall has got great wrestling, great jiu-jitsu. He's freaking insanely fast for how big he is. He's huge, freaking huge, and he moves like a freaking featherweight. He moves fast, man. I think he's definitely he'll probably be the greatest heavyweight of all time for sure.
I want to see that fight so bad, Damon. I hope
I,
that John
I'm,
sticks around.
I doubt it, man. I think that's just too risky for him to his legacy. I think he beats Stipe and he can ride off to the sunset.
You're probably right. Co-main event: Charles Oliveira, Michael Chandler. What do you see in that one?
Chandler's a dummy. I think he gets caught, clipped, finished. and then McGregor and him will fight, and hopefully that freaking storyline's over too. McGregor needs to stop, and Chandler would have been a perfect opportunity for both of them. They could have had that. They could have sold that out. But Chandler fighting Oliveira is, it's risky on Oliveira, really. Honestly, Chandler's got nothing to lose. You know, he's literally got nothing to lose. So I think that Chandler gets beat for sure. Clipped the third or fourth round, finish. And I think Charles is taking a risk because it doesn't help him really at all.
Mm, it's a good point. And I don't really see anyone beating Islam at lightweight right now. Um,
I know.
do you feel like there's anyone that could give him a good run for his money? I mean, Poirier did probably the best that we've seen, but I don't know if he's going to get that shot again.
USADA, if they would have, if they're still around, USADA, if they did the right kind of testing over there, then maybe that would help. But, I don't want to get into all that crap. But, I think that, like his style is great, but everybody's beatable, man. He got clipped by that, the hell's the guy? The guy beating him, I forgot his name.
The,
Um,
the guy that
Nobody. He's nobody. What the hell is the guy's name?
the guy that beat
Who caught him? Yeah,
Islam. Oh my God. I'll look it up. I'm blanking right now myself.
yeah. Well, I feel like an asshole, but yeah. I mean, look. I mean, he might get caught. So, but he actually does. He strikes more than Khabib. He puts himself. He's vulnerable more than Khabib. So who knows, man?
Adriano Martins.
Yeah. Who the hell is that?
Never heard of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Islam's great, man, for sure. Everybody's beatable
How good do you think Moicano is?
though. Really good. Yeah, I like him too. I like his style and like, yeah, I like him. I think he definitely smashes Patty if they fight, but that won't happen.
If Islam goes up to 170, because he's flirted with that for a while now, really, who do you feel like might end up with the belt in the next year or so? Do you think Money Moicano could be that guy, or is there someone else that you feel like stands out?
Man, I don't know. I feel like somehow, some way they want Kamara to come back and win and get back in the mix. But honestly, man, I don't know, man. That division's yeah, I don't know. I think lightweight's kind of Islam's kind of went through a lot of those guys, and I think that there's a couple exciting fights, but I really think that he beats everybody in the top 10 for sure. And I don't know, man. That's a tough one. But I
Yeah.
think Money McConnell is he's tough, man. I like him too.
Yeah, what he did to Saint Denis was really really impressive. So a lot of great fights
Yeah.
to look forward to here in this division. Let's circle back to UFC 309 again, November the 16th. Going to be in New York City. When do you travel there? Who will your cornerman be? Have you decided all of that by now?
Yeah, well, my coach said if he's always there, and then like Gerald McCoy. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's a six-time Pro Bowler.
Oh
Played
yeah,
for Raiders, Chiefs. Like he's played Buccaneers. Like total badass. He was in my corner my last fight, but it was at the Apex. It was kind of like a shit show, bad performance. It was just it wasn't a good fit. So I was like, when I got the news about this fight, I was like, oh, he got to be there again. And so he's there. And then my buddy Robert Oliver, he's real big on TikTok Shop, and he's showing me a few things. I'm trying to break into that industry a little bit, do a couple of things on the side. So I'm actually going out to Miami next week to get some training in with him and some of the guys there, and just to get some content and stuff. But yeah, I'm trying to expand everything. I'm trying to I just found another place I want to lease for my gym to expand it, and I'm trying to get like triple the size. So that's something that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do that, and then move on past fighting. I want to make sure that I have a few things set up, and I'm so excited to have this fight and this opportunity to fight here. So it's pretty cool.
how many fights do you have left on your current contract?
Three.
Do you anticipate fighting after those three fights, or do you think at that point you might transition to the next stage of your life?
Dude, I feel so damn good. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I would love to fight these, and as long as things are going great, as I think they will, then I'm just gonna keep fighting. So,
Mhm.
I'm playing it by ear, but I have my babies to look forward to. I have life after fighting for sure set up. I'm trying to get in that direction where I feel comfortable with myself and everything I've done. Like I'm happy with my career. It's been a great career. I still want to compete. Like I love fighting so much. Like I love training. I love everything about it. Like it's just I get so excited about it, and I'm just happy to keep doing it, and I want to do it as long as I can. So as long as I'm healthy, man, I'm gonna keep fighting.
With you losing three of your last four, are you feeling extra pressure to go in there and win this one?
Um, I mean, you always feel that pressure no matter what. Like you're fighting in the UFC, so it's like, there's a guy can replace you every other day. It's like, so you got to go out there and perform. I think that the UFC understands obviously that I took the fights with the weight cut misses and all that crap, so they're giving me this fight. This is just a good opportunity, and I got to take advantage of it for sure. But I feel the pressure more on myself than I feel like the UFC's putting on me.
Have you decided on a walkout song?
No, I usually when I'm doing my sprint work, I put on some good music, and so usually one of the songs hits right, and I just kind of go with it. My daughters were sending me some different options, and one of them actually was pretty cool. So maybe that would be it. I don't know.
Okay, that's always good to go with the advice from one of your family members. So that I'm sure would be a good one, and they'd appreciate it. As far as the matchup goes, can you give me a prediction? How do you see this fight ending? Do you anticipate a finish, or do you think this is going to be a dogfight?
I think it's gonna be a fucking dogfight, man. I'm excited as hell too. I've been like, I'm kind of a fanboy. I watch a lot of film on a lot of different people, but I've been watching a lot of Max Holloway matchups and his Calvin Cater, his um the freaking Gaethje, like just watching those kind of fights and thinking like this is kind of like what it's geared up towards. Like it's gonna be a 5-5-5-5 fight, and then maybe it's 15 minutes, maybe it's freaking 2 or 3 minutes. Who the hell knows? I think it's gonna be a scrap for sure, and I'm excited.
I think just when I look at the lineup right now of UFC 309, I feel like you guys are right in the running for what could be potentially fight of the night. Do you think that you could leave with an extra 50K in your pocket?
Shit, I would hopefully he misses weight and I get 100K. Like I'm so excited, man, and to fight Jim Miller, I know it's gonna be potential fight of the night for sure.
Awesome, Damon. Well, always a pleasure to talk to you, my man. Best of skill come fight night again, November the 16th, UFC 309. Before we do sign off here today, I just want to kick it over to you, man. If there's anything you want to plug or anyone you want to thank, floor is yours.
No, man, I just appreciate everybody's support. It's been pretty cool to have this fight and to have everything lined up like this is pretty cool. And I've got a lot of support, and I appreciate everybody following me on Instagram and talking to me on there. I try to answer all the messages I get, but I appreciate everybody's support.